Saturn in Cancer extends one's authoritative nature and integrity around their emotions. Saturn in Cancer extends one's authority around their emotions and gives one a totality of psychic capability. Of course, like any Saturn placement, this is through breaking through your self-perceived limitation. The difficulty of Saturn in a sign like this, which is noted to be in its detriment, can seriously, suppress one's emotional outlet. But in reality, because Saturn in this placement adds so much more of a gravity towards how one empathically relates, these aren't necessarily people who are going to just share their emotions if it's not serious. A Saturn in Cancer really isn't going to be the stereotypical Cancer crybaby, and even if they cry, it's definitely through the events that heavily weigh on their soul because of the depth of their capacity to feel and the weight of this authority that really ties them into more integral reasons to be moved. So as such, it's not that easy to move Saturn in Cancers, especially if you have no sincerity, if you're fake. It's very easy for them to sniff out who and what is fake in that vein as well, especially relative to how realistically they're in a position to also, extend their own intuitive ability. Aren't as sincere, they feel a lot of your own feelings. You know what I mean? They're able to sense nuances in your body language that may not reflect how you really feel inside and not tell you that they sense all of that. So when you put Saturn here, this makes this dynamic so much more serious, and it's just a lot more difficult for a native like that to just stand by and pretend like they're okay with you being fake. And as such, they can come off as, a bit more tough on your own emotions. Saturn in Cancer, barring the water element, adds this gravity to their function of feeling, and relative to the cardinality of this, it enables them to really push forward like, units on their own, barring it being the fourth individual placement. Saturn Cancers could really bring up an entire empire by themselves. A notable example is 50 Cent, who, was able to really bring up G-Unit all off the strength of his own star power. That being said, what could make a placement like this troubling is the burden that comes with having such a powerful emotional body and, really being serious about how you feel to the point that it moves literal mountains. Another person to not mess with, I will say that. Another thing, given its entire world of emotion and ocean that this brings in, really does show that these people are capable of great depths of not only feeling but empathy, even though they may not always show it. Don't be fooled though, the Saturn in Cancer makes these natives capable of deep emotion. But if there's not enough gravity, if you're not really serious about it, they're not going to be into it. Anyway, you guys stay blessed as always. Comment down below your thoughts, and until next time.